It's a wrap with Sipho. Sanbonan Dumelang Absheni to everyone. I am super excited for this journey that we are bringing. Normally when you're on set and you are hearing it's a wrap, you are thinking it's the end of the journey, it's the end of the story, it's time to say goodbye. But not this time around. This time around, we're revisiting the characters that the actors have played. We are celebrating them, profiling them, but most importantly, going on a journey of learning about the industry. Because this industry is more than just what we see on our screens. And today's guest is none other than the talented Mbali Cele.
Hey! Unjani mnganami?
Grand wena?
Ngigreat vijam.
I mean, your journey has started from, for many people, we were introduced to you as Ukesh, all the way to Nest Lydia, you know? So we'll unpack all of that. But before singena lapho, if there was a billboard, and this billboard was designed for you with your face, and it had 3 names or things that describe you, what would be on that billboard?
Yo, 3 things. Ish. 1, I am talented in so many ways.
Yeah.
We understand?
Yeah.
Ngingabala nje okuningi, like talented nje in so many ways. Ngiyavithiza nje. Manginikezwe ithuba kuthiwa bambala. Ngiyavithiza.
Yeah.
So it's talented in so many ways. And personality yami says it all. Ngami nje as a person. And I'm a God-fearing woman.
A God-fearing woman.
Yes.
I like those 3 things that you are speaking about, and I want to start with the one your personality yako, because I think the first time I met you, we were auditioning for Shortcut to a Short Life.
Yes.
With the National Children's Theatre.
Yes.
At the time, the play did not have a name.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you there, and I was like, yo, this girl was a TV, you know, because we already had seen you on TV. Yeah.
Oh, what does
and then you were
okay.
very nice and warm to everybody. I remember getting home, yo, papa. Look, let's talk about that. What has been some of the fruits that are birthed out of your personality?
Yabona, when you have a personality efana neyam, imsebenzi ngiyithola kalula because I gel with everyone. I don't have people engithi lona angikhulumisa ngikhulumi naye lo unjani. Mina, you are all the same to me. Director, you are all the same. I respect people ngaleyo ndlela.
That is so beautiful because we are living in a country where it's hard to be a creative, more so an actor, and we'll get into that. But what you are saying is that your personality is opening doors for you.
It is.
There's a lot of people who are sitting maybe at home and are like, you know what, I'm talented, and I've gone to school, I've got a degree, I've got this and this and that. Jobs are not coming. How would you advise them to show up? Because obviously sometimes people don't wanna, like, it's not in them. About loud, about baby.
But mina ngaba advisor ngakho ukuthi guys, be who you are. Don't try to be someone else. If kuguthi wena ula ushy, mawukhuluma nabantu ushy, be that, but wazi ukuthi these are people. Mele ngitshele nabo because uyosebenza nabo. Uyokwenza njani masosebenza nabo? Uzoloku uyivalele khoneni wena. Uhlangane nabo mayo run ama lines. No. So even when we get characters, kufanele uwenze show ukuthi if une relationship in that role that you got, nalo muntu ojola naye lapho, iba ne relationship off set, so that ku screen ibonakala ukuthi hayi man.
So sijola off set, sijola on set.
No, not to jola, like a relationship, build that relationship. Ungavele nje uthi hayi sobonana emsebenzini because come on.
I mean, I love what you started with, saying that if this billboard was there, one of the first things about you it will say is multi-talented.
Yes.
You know? So let's get into that because this show, it's a rap. Normally, Matua said it's a rap. Gusho with the Pelil. Hambu again.
Yeah.
Which for me is an interesting journey because I feel like acting as a whole, it's a journey of hellos and goodbyes. You say hello to certain characters, but they don't live on forever. Then you also have to say goodbye.
Exactly.
So maybe let's get into those hellos and goodbyes and revisit some of these characters, how it feels like to be on set and all of that. Before then, acting is what I want to do.
Excuse me, uyabona mawukhula sonke sinama dreams and everything. Uyabo. Mina with my thing ngiphaphile vele from a very young age. Ngumuntu nje ofuna ukubukwa makuthiwa wasizocula, that's me. Wasizodance, that's me. Uyabo. So I was like, and I discovered ukuthi no man, this is what I want to do. Uyabona esikoleni ma went to grade 12 and then ngizohamba niyo ku open day eMavarsity and then I saw uStumo Mtshali and he was doing a show called what was it? Waiting for Godot. And he was just eating carrots. Mntana abantu ezimele nje laphaya eyidlela carrots. I was like, this is what I want to do.
For good carrots.
No, not not necessarily eating carrots, but I was looking. No, man, I want to do this. I want to act. I want to, and I was very good in singing game.
Yeah.
Because church, I was that church girl. So isonto imina everything, and nasa sonto nibona ukuthi hayi man, mangikhona kuyacaca ukuthi hayi man uyanyakaza uyabo. So nje lindana umshana kakhulani uyabo. Yes uyabo. It was that thing. So mangifika ever since I was like, I want to do this. And then
now there you are growing up in rural KZN, finding yourself at DUT, about to study drama. At one point he was somebody very far, you know, that inspired you and sowed that seed, or maybe also who was used to say to you, this is the direction.
Is what yes.
Now you get in an opportunity where now he's like a colleague in the industry.
Listen, and he doesn't know he's the one owangenza ukuthi ngifuna ukustudy drama. He doesn't know, but again.
Stumo, siyabonga God. Siyabonga, you've done a great job. You know, you've given us a gift here.
Yeah.
So you get into the journey of choosing to study. The thing about this art thing in this country is that a lot of people can go and study. Futhi into abasitshela wona ku first year ke ukuthi shem nibaningi. Kodwa abanye benu angeke baphumelele
bakutshela live ma lecturers bakutshela live ukuthi
abanye bakhapha abanye
abanye bakhapha abanye. Yeah,
let's talk about that journey of getting the first role, which now makes you realize ukuthi obviously you started at theater, but I want to fast forward to the screen part, because with It's a Rap, we want to celebrate roles that people know. We know that there's more to your journey than what people see on TV, but we want to start our journey and conversation from a point of reference of what we know, so that we can all say, Samkhumbula. Yeah. So I think maybe the biggest role that we know you from, or that introduced you to many South Africans, was Ukesh Kesh.
I'm a ninja.
How did that come about?
Okay, 2014, was it 2014? Yes. Mawufika eGoli phela you look uzofuna agent, what agent inqabe because awuna experience, and then uthola ama agent amancane and just get that experience nyana. So bagcina bengithatha ke ku agent yami ngo 2016. So mangibajoyina ngo 2016. Because banginqaba 2014, and then I came back saying the experience nyana after varsity saying the experience nyana. Okay, and then nga audition ke. It's so funny because agent Ami sent me to audition for Winnie.
It's staring. Yeah.
Because you know our agent. So bangithumela ku audition la Winnie. I'm like, when I got there, audition, and then director wethu, she was also a casting director. Mangifika laphaya Amanda Lane audition. And he's like, I like you a lot, but can you stay behind and audition for cash? And it was not usuku audition or cash. It was usuku lo Winnie. Uyabona ama characters lawo. So I stayed behind. Wanginikeza a script, and then I had to learn that script. ngingene ke and auditioned. Ay kwathuleka uyazi ke na.
Yeah.
Kwathuleka okay ayindaba fusebe castile futhi mhlawumbe bakhasa abantu babo. Anyway.
Yeah.
Ngithuka simeka kuthiwa hayibo ozabe ucall back. Okay, nice. Ngihamba ngayo call back and I had to do a call back with Thuso Mbethu. The chemistry. Yes, sis. And she was like, that's it.
Yes.
You know, that's how I got to Gesh.
That's how you got to Gesh.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the character of Gesh, she became very popular in the country because Winnie's character, which was played by Thuso Mbethu, was distressed, you know, was going through the most. And then we had the squad. But Gesh in the squad, bega out there, popular, out and about. Yeah. Let's talk about being on set for the first time because Nonke, it was almost a big break for all of you.
Yeah.
All of you have done very well since that show. But at that time, you were still nobodies coming into set. Day one, how was that?
I think with me, because I'm the person I am, Mina, I gel with everyone. So even if you come with your attitude, I'll come with my smile and I'll come with my warmth. Because I'm this chubby, cute girl. You know, it was nice. It was nice. I don't want to lie. It was really nice. From directors, from the whole of the crew, makeup artists, like everyone was very nice. Also the cast, sometimes we don't meet with abanye cast because of the location that we're shooting in. But again, it was really nice.
So Gesh was your first on-screen character to play?
Not really.
Okay.
I did something in 2014. Was it 2014 or 15? It was him, her, and the guys.
Okay.
On SABC 1.
I remember.
Yeah, it was only a one episode thing.
Yeah.
But me being me, I enjoyed myself.
So let's get into that because now you say shooting him, her, and the guys was a one-day experience.
Yeah, it was a one-day experience.
Now you come in and you are shooting Istoons where you're playing Gesh.
Yeah.
So now you are on set almost frequently.
Yes.
Let's get into the technical elements. How do you prepare? How does it differ how you prepare for a one day on set versus a long running project?
No, it doesn't differ kakhulu because an actor prepares.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So a day before, you know, a day before your material, you learn your lines. It's the same thing that you do even when you're shooting for just a day or for a one episode thing. Also with an everyday thing, not every day, but you know, you're there frequently.
Yeah.
So you just have to learn your lines.
I agree with you, but I've always found that when people are playing one role, like one scene, because it's only one scene to prove themselves, they always overdo. Versus when you have a long project, because with a long project, you know, if today was not a good day on set, you still have tomorrow. You know, you've got another day to pick it up. But when it's like you're just going to shoot this one scene,
you want to excel. Angles. Emotions in one episode, in one shoot. But
let's speak to young actors because young actors are out there and they are getting opportunities for like and then this is their first scene and how can we help them to make a good enough impression for the world to see what they have without overdoing it?
Be true who wena ubani, be true to self. Musa ukufuna ukwenza into engale, do something that is here. Musa, like when you are given a role mhlambe yokuthi nje mhlambe bridesman, not bridesman, yinle estrogent, estrogent it's in. So you are given that role. Musa kungibuza ngokuthi i-character yakho ifila kanjani ngalomshado lokho yeka phansi it's just promise nje iphelele lapho musu ufuna ukuya ngale musu ufuna ukukhombisa into eziningi unikezwe lokhu, do this.
And I love that, I think it's important to, every time people, like, because you are using the opportunity, the example of a groomsman and a groom. We could also say the same thing with a bridesmaid and the bride. That the bridesmaid is not the bride. Support the bride, but it's not, you are not the bride.
It's just not about you. It's about the bride. And the show is not about you, it's about the bride.
So let's talk about that though, because you played a strong support, Goose Tunes, as Ukesh. And you play now with somebody who at the time had done also a few projects here and there, but she was not as big as she is now. Then she gets the project, Tunesy becomes nominated for the Emmys, and she becomes nominated, and her career kind of takes off into the world.
Yes.
This is Tuso. So is there then a pressure from everybody else, ninagini nenselem zansi ukuthi sekahambile usuke nani lana, or how do you relate to that? How do you also avoid such conversations that people might bring to the table?
One thing I understand about myself, ngiyasazi isikhathi sikaNkulunkulu. Mase kwesikhathi sikaNkulunkulu uzongibeka la ifuna ukungibeka khona. Angikwazi mina ukuyibeka lapho. So uthusa uNkulunkulu wakhe wambeka lapho ngaleso sikhathi. So mina ngizoxakwa yini? I'm happy for her. Even now we still talk no too. So I'm happy. Ngijabula ngalendlela when I see her. Njoba kade driver siza ngapha. I saw her with billboard, yellow real. I'm like, because I'm happy. And angina problem. Kuthi abantu kuthi bathi buka phela uthusa uphesheya wena. Mina sami isikhathi uNkulunkulu uyazazi. Mhlawumbe sona manje mhlawumbe akusona. So angifakeli pressure at all. Makufanele ngiye phesheya nami njengoba eyile kuyokwenzeka at my own time ngepace kaNkulunkulu wami.
I love that. Moving on to Hope. Moja Love launches a channel, and it becomes a new. They give us Hope, which is going to be the soapy that was introduced there, and you get to play a very loud character again, a bubbly character. Let's go into that. Gonja, what was the character's name there?
It was Ayabonga.
Ayabonga, yes, you were playing Ayabonga. Having experienced. Because in the industry, every production is done by different companies.
Yeah.
So without speaking about maybe Channel and Tontoni, what has been some of the differences that you had to adjust to moving from one set to another?
For me, I work because I understand working with people because I've worked with ama productions amancane, I've worked with ama productions amakhulu. So ne Hope was a production enkulu at that time, ifika, and people engisebenze nabo kuyileyo production leyo abantu engeke ngasebenza nabo. So for me it was how guys sesifikile sesila, azikhala sisebenzeni. That was it. And I met abanye abantu engibangibaqala kuleyo industry kwi Hope uyabo. But nabo ngasebenzana kahle nabo.
Let's talk about moving on from character to character and story to story, because sometimes you might find that in this country they end up typecasting, or they end up saying, lo papile, so my characters are papile njalo. So what do you then do for yourself so that show up on our screens, you are not Usman Bani, you're not you're not giving us Ukesh, Ayabonga, or you're not giving us, the different. How do you look into that?
Okay, one director or whoever or a producer is ukuthi this is what I want for this character. We are ukuthi, and it's up to you as a character ukuthi mina ngifuna ukuyidlala kanjani, uyabo. Angikwazi ukudlala into efana neYambali kwakwimbewu, angikwazi ukudlala into efana noGesh, even if ngithiwa ngiphaphile, but I can't play the same role because there was a time where I was shooting two things at once.
Yes.
We understand.
Yes.
But in a script helps us ukuthi stick to this. If you're doing that, do do this. If you're doing this, do this.
We'll get back to the 1 year hope conversation. I want to get into what you're saying now about a script. Because a lot of actors ufuna umuntu ukwenza izinto ezingekho scriptini and or I feel frustrated ukuthi ngizoyisa le character, but the script is there. Because one of the principles is that text is king. You know, the clues that you need are there. They start there.
Exactly.
Let's talk about, by virtue of speaking about scripts, is acting for people who are only smart and can read script and can because what happens if I'm struggling to read? How do I navigate myself in the space?
There is something supposed to improvise.
Yeah.
Uyabo? Unganikezwe script, but nginendlela mina iscript sami ngisianalyze ngakhona. Even noma kunama translations, nginendlela mina engikhuluma ngayo. Angikwazi ukukhuluma ngendlela yama translations engiwabona la. Uyabo, makubhala translation la ngibona ukuthi mina angeke ngize ngibambe le translation angikhulumi kanje. We understand a normal person angeke cause bona aba translateayo bafaka direct translation, not futhi abakwazi ukubamba leyo nto ukuthi mawenza direct translation uxaka mina ngi-act ukuze ke mina ngikwazi ukuyenza lento. Let me give it umbali. And then ngizokwazi ke lapho ukuthi ngisenze script sinjengoba sinjalo, but nakhona I give it ama spices obeni bami, you know, I give my yabo 6 gun ngithi okay la ngizofaka kanjani yabo ikwazi ukuphuma imnandi into, because ama writers sometimes babhala into bangacabangi ukuthi lento ebhaliwe nkosiyami umunye umuntu nje angayisho yini angayikhuluma yini umuntu angakhuluma kanje umuntu, because
there's a difference between a written language and a spoken language.
Spoken language, there's a total different.
Manje ke script though, when you're getting scripts, what is the first thing that because part of being it's a rap, I say that we want to celebrate your journey and the work that you do, but we also want to equip young actors. We want young actors who are starting off this journey to get tips so that they can do better and be better. So what would you say is the first thing to do uma uthola le script leso sihlale ezandleni zakho?
Okay, uthola script ne?
Yeah.
Uqala ufunde nkosiyami ukuthi kuthiwani, fanele uunderstand i-character bio qala before you even open a script sakho. Ma audition nje bazokutshela ukuthi character bio lo muntu unje. So in your mind ma uthola script, ma ubona la ukuthi kunama directions la kwenziwa kanjani, funda everything before you can go to your lines. Ufunda everything and then you come back, you translate your lines. I'll translate wakho kuphela, utranslate analo okusuka ukhuluma naye, so that uzoba ne-understanding ukuthi sikhuluma ngani. Because even if you messed up a line, awubaleki kakhulu because you know partner wakho uzothini. Because naye if ebaleka uyazi ukuthi uzombamba kanjani.
Yeah. Nidonsane
nisizane. Angifuni ukushayina ngedwa, ngifuna shine so too. Makuyi dialogue sibaningi asishayine sonke. You understand? Masisoyi two asishayine sobabili. Angaqongi le mina wena usale phansi. Because uzobuka ngathi lento esenza asiyazi.
Let's talk about that space when you're on set. And you are working across another actor and you are running your lines, getting ready for a scene. What are some of the things that, because sometimes mufunda script endlini usinterpreta ngendlela yakho ukuthi okay uzangena yenze kanje mawufika yena uthi wenza ama choices ahlukile kunalawo wena owalungisile. How do you then communicate that in a way that helps the scene to still proceed and go to the next?
It goes back to what I was saying. Ukuthi when you have a person you're acting with, have a relationship and have the understanding of nifuna uku-achievani with this that you are given, this opportunity that you are given. Ufuna uku-achievani kahle kahle. And then lapho angekeze ube nenkinga yokuthi lo usefuna kanje yena, even a day before, you talk about it. You talk about the scenes. You talk about everything. It's okay. Singayenza kanjani. You understand? So,
but bakhona ama-actors athi me, I don't run lines.
Kuphi khona?
Athi me, I don't run lines.
Mina ke baba ngisebenza ngokurun ama-lines. Ngizela khona la. Angeke ngingene esethini mina ngiyoshutha ngingarun ama-lines nawe. Ngisho kuthiwa ubani uSindi Dlathu noma ubani lo baba lo wesibaye
uThemba ulo
Siyabonga Thwala. Yes, Siyabonga Thwala. Now ngicela sirana ama-lines baba. Ngicela sirana ama-lines ngoba angeke ngize mina ngibuye ngathi ngiyislimo.
Yes.
Because for us understand lokuthi senzani. We have to run lines. Yonke sizelela ngizokuthiwa surana ka-20. Mangibona ukuthi asakayitholi soyi2. We are going apart. Fanele sijele.
I love that. I mean, people being on different sets have got different experiences. For me, in sets that I've been on, I've had the kindness of actors who were veterans and who were willing to run lines. But I know people in the industry who say that they've been in situations where the actor says, I don't run lines, I don't meet you before the scene, I will only see you there. And then there's even the producers are like, yeah, that's how the so-and-so works like that. You must just understand.
And then ke lapho siposethu wena uyintombi yakwaZulu mina ke nje ngiyintombi yakwaZulu ngibuyele KZN angazi kwaSitswana angazi kwaSuthu angazi kwani athi umuntu akafuna ukurana ama-lines. Ubese uthi iketlepile utheni angeke ngize ngizwe lo nto mina ngoba angazi.
Yeah.
You understand? So now, come on. We have to. Sizela ukuzorana ama-lines. Masuka kuvela lapha eTV sifike sorana ama-lines. Ukuze kubonakala time man.
Yeah.
Uyamnandi into. Baze bajola kamnandi. You understand? Rather than athi umuntu uzohlangana esethini. Mina uzohlangana nawe esethini kanti wena uzowazi ukuthi wena ukadwa fika kule industry ngivela ngiqhumbe phansi ngoba phela uza ngengqondo ukuthi kusha lokho ubedlalaphi yabo bese ngivele ngiqhumbe phansi ke mina usala ukuthi hayi I know ukuthi yazi ngikhohliwe lapha yana kanti befana ngabe siranile kuqala ngithola intshothu usile.
What are set etiquettes? Yini into kumele abantu abazasethini bayazi ukuthi because indawo nendawo ineset yayo inama rules inendlela okwenza angeke ngifike ngisebenze ngithi ngu-Dr. Theatre bese ngifike ngifuna ukudlela kule room es-operator kulo kune etiquette yokuthi sidlela kuphi siyenza ini kanjani. What are some of the most important things that you think people should note coming into the space, whether you're an older actor that has been in the game for a long time or you're a young actor that is only being introduced to the industry? What are some of the places and points that you think yazin iset etiquette ithi yenza so?
Uyabona nje one mawufika esethini and you think wena uyikho konke unginguye enginguye ngi-lead on this show. Uzoba nenkinga ngoba mawufika nje esethini respect everyone. Sipho sethu into yokuqala leyo yabona when you are given opportunity yokuthi ngidlala le role ufike mina nje there was a set engangikuyona ngafika akangazi u-AD wakhona right akangazi ngiyafika okay sisi unjani mina AD usibambani igama wakwana okay nice meeting you Mbali Cele and then ubhuti wakhona Nkosi yami wangizela neside wazongifundisa how to read a side. You understand? I gave him a chance yokuthi angifundise athi lana okay inamba yakho ithi 305 so siyavula la page lokuqala yangithaba ku 305 esibili akuthi nangu ku 305 la eseqala khona igama lakho lana usibanibani uyabo ngifundisa so manje nje uzongena njoba kuyilesini le uzoshutha lesini yabo wangifundisa nje futhi ngamlalela waqeda ngiyabonga wathi cela ngiye ka makeup ngaka makeup cela uye ka wardrobe ngaya ka wardrobe ngafika ezantsi ngayo shoot. I remember I was shooting with Mavuso. Mangifika hayi Mavuso unjani awusijabulela noMavuso ayi sharp sishoot asiqede. And then after he realized ukuthi man after shooting abasebona man le ntombazane yayidlala kuphi athi bra wonyaka ufundisa side but uyazi nje le nto. No, but mawufike sethini.
Yes.
Be humble.
Yes.
Makuthiwa enza lokho musuku utshela iAD ukuthi mina ngeke ngize ngikwenze ukuthi and communicate. Mawubona ukuthi abanje okay with the current show that I'm in kunama stairs amade. You understand? So mawufanele uyezansi yenza ama after lunch checks and everything. Isinyakho later kuyilokhuzana later on the day. Uthi hey guys ngizokwehla mase ngiyoshoota sengiyokwenza ama after lunch checks because wow ama step so many. But nakhona you communicate with the AD mfethu ne AD izo communicate with makeup ukuthi hayi ubani uzofika ngesikhathi esukuthi. You communicate, you make sure ukuthi you are respect abanye abantu ubanikeza indawo yabo. Hayi ukuthi wena uvele nje ube ugirl noma ube uboy ongafuni ukuthintwa. Hayi uzofail.
I really respect the fact ukuthi ukhuluma ngendaba ye humility. You know, you could have said, Buti, an experience. Sengishuta ama ad angaka, ngashuta ama movie angaka, ngashuta ama sitcom nama uyayazi CV yami ukuthi iphuma. But you sat and you allowed him to do his job and it didn't take anything away from you. Because he told you what you knew, but he stole nothing from you. You know, and you've got to be able to naye la khona namhlanje une respect for you. Yeah.
And you didn't say whatever kumina, you were just okay. Yeah, but okay. Hayi ngiyabonga.
So, I mean, ever since we started speaking, you've been speaking about how nice it is on set, how you get along with everybody. I want to know, because we are human, and there are days when you're not feeling well, you are sick, days when things are not happening the way they're supposed to happen. What has been some of the most challenging experiences being on set for you?
Yes, I've never had those moments.
Hlala kumthebelele
for me. I'm always looking forward to go on set. And mangifika hlala kumnandi. I've never had isikhathi la ngibona khona ukuthi yo ngiphatheka kabuhlungu lana ukuthi besides doing behind the scenes work. Lapho ke shame yo maluso ingcwele. Hayi lapho shame. It's a lot of work and we understand more of the into ongayazi. Or uvela uthethiswe nje mina I'm a cry baby. So angivele ngikhale awe Jesu but with acting I shame.
People who are watching us right now, they probably know you from your latest character, which is on Gomora, which is Lydia. You know, people have fallen in love with Lydia and they really enjoyed Lydia. But I want to, before we get into Lydia, because your CV is so long, but we can't really dive into each and every character as the work that you've done. But leading to in between the seasons, I want to navigate the in-between spaces, because you spoke about the fact that just now you touched on the fact that when you are shooting, but you've also been behind the scenes.
Yeah.
How did the behind the scenes journey come about? Because I know for many actors, between every season, I mean, between Ukesh Gustunzi, no Lydia, Gomora, there's life happening in between.
Obviously.
There are shows that are coming and there are shows that are almost there but never come. How do you navigate? How have you navigated the in-between seasons, and how did you get behind the scenes?
Okay, first young seniors because I'm industry would say, hey, sometimes sila. So when sila ngoba phela ke njoba bengishilo ukuthi I'm talented in so many ways. Ngiyakwazi ukwenza inwele, ngiyakwazi ukwenza i-makeup, hair and makeup. So I met uSisikhasu kwa Hope. So kwa Hope I was acting, but ngaze wazi ukuthi ngiyakwazi ukwenza ikhanda. So that's when azi ukuthi okay mina ama shows athize udinga umuntu ozomsiza ngeinwele, she will call me. Even now recently she had something wangifonela in Cape Town, but I was like, I can't because I'm working. And working behind the scenes, shame, ayo, kuyakhathaza. Kuyakhathaza, I don't wanna lie. Kuyakhathaza, but again, I salute because I'm behind the scenes because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Ungcono ukwenza ama-lines. Ungcono uku-acta nje kuphela. Ugoduke kini, ufike ube muhle, usebenze ugoduke. Like from uthola ukuthi ungena ngo-4 emsebenzini, uzophuma ngo-6 and lapho ngala after ishow leyo ended, I slept like for 3 days. Ngilala endlini nje umngane wami bengenzela ukudla ekuseni breakfast, ngivuke ngidle, ngigeze ngibuyele empedeni nje for 3 days because
Does this make you respect people who do makeup, hair and everything?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Awusafiki lapha esethu uthi hi man ishiya la mahlala ngala.
No. Angisenzile angiphosethu. I make sure ukuthi nje into engiyenzayo ngiyabakhumbuza. Yabo uthola ukuthi ukhohlwa ukufaka iblush. Yabo ngisimuni ukhohlwa ukufaka iblush yabo because ngiyayazi makeup and ngiyayazi makeup yama ngenza yona. So ukhohlwa ama yabo ukhohlwa ukuthi okay spray yabo. So it's that nakhona and they appreciate that because bayazi ukuthi I'm also coming from doing hand makeup.
Yeah. Also, you got hair and makeup because of ubuntu bakho ne relationship yakho nabantu baku department. Yakuvulela ama opportunities ukuthi wenze hair and makeup on series like Ubetina Way 2 and other projects, you know. So, but there was a time when you posted a video on your social media platform where you were crying because you were just saying this acting journey is a lot. And you broke down on social media, and for many people, because at that time you were rerunning on other channels. Day one, and you're getting nothing for that. So people are seeing you on TV, and in the actual fact, in real life, that's not happening. Walk us through that, because even now, when somebody watches this interview, sees your bubbly self, happy, and like gig after gig, we're mentioning all these roles. You know, you've done Imbewu, Durban Gen, you know, you've done big shows in this country. You've contributed so much to the industry, but you did shoot that video and you posted it. What was going on in your life that made you say, I'm going to shoot this, but not only record it, I will share it?
Sometimes we go through things and we don't want to share things that are going through ngaleso sikhathi. So sometimes uyibona ngathi yazini, I've been trying man, akulungi akuhlangani kanti yini lekumele ngiyenze mina ukuze ngifike la ngifuna ukufika khona. And people think it's all glitz and glam acting, but it's not that. It's really not that. Kunzima kakhulu. Mase kunzima futhi kunzima uzubona ukuthi kahle ngangifunani la. But ubuyele nganeno uthi yazini ngizoqhubeka. Kancane I will get there.
That video had over I don't know how many comments. And when I looked into the comments, it was industry people, it was people who were fans of your work, it was everybody. People said, Ish, I know what you're talking about. I'm also there. Or others were saying, hey, just keep going, just whatever. How do you navigate in between, especially because you're an actor from KZN? You are working in an industry in Johannesburg. Because of rent still issue in INI, you've got other things that are still responsible, you know. So how do you navigate being an actor in Joburg and the off seasons of the industry?
Being the person I am, Mina, I've never in my life, since 2018, I've never paid rent.
Come on now.
You know why? Because I'm this person that I am. I remember Mang Zohlala in Northern Park, my church, but we have a house. So there's no one who's staying there. Do you mind coming and stay here? I was like, what? Just no boyfriend. It's okay. It's okay. So I stayed there from 2018 until 2020. And then a friend of mine, good friend of mine, Usbongile, she was like, 2020, now COVID, in, there's no work. Like, uzohlala wedwa endlini. Uzofrustrated. So come and stay with us. So I've been staying with my friend since 2020 until now.
Till now.
So I don't have worry rent. Mawukhona umsebenzi ukhona nayo uyabona ukuthi okay. Mawukhona umsebenzi. Kuyabonakala ukuthi okay, Mbali is working.
Yeah.
You know, if she's not working, naye she's working, nomyeni wakhe is working. So nje, it's like a family yami that I have in Joburg. Because my brother, Smith, recently passed on, April. So he was my only family, but you know, Emakai would say, you know. So he was my brother. Bengina uyena kuphela bekhona la Johannesburg. Who was my brother? Was like, but so he passed on April. So yeah.
Let's talk about support in the industry. Khona isikhathi sama-self-tape, COVID heightened indaba yama-self-tape. And the self-tape, khona umuntu kumele akufundele self-tape, kumele akushuthe omunye, kumele ngenzeni. Sometimes uthi ucela umamncane endlini, avela athi, where is the cat? Catine, bathini kona lana? Bangabuzelani nge-catine mara senpress record at that time.
Lalela uzokwenza isini that you have to cry, ukhale. Umuntu athi angipressanga uplay. Wena yini manje? You know, hey yabona leyo season leyo. Even now sisana lawo ma seasons la because now sisaqhubeka senza ama self tapes. And yonke awazonda ngenhliziyo yami yonke.
Kodwa sikhulume nge-support because you know a lot of times masi buke TV we celebrate you as the star, but we forget that there's so many people. There's a community, there's a tribe. There's your friend with her husband who says, no, mngani wethu ungawari ngokuthi ukuzodliwani ulalaphi sikhona as long as wena usahamba le journey yakho, you know. There is people who are helping you. How important is that community? Because I think a lot of times we take for granted the people that help us do what we do with the ease that we get to do it in.
Yo, Kosi, I'm about that community. Yabona abantu abanawe, even my family. Sebafunda ukwenza ama lines. Sebafunda. Ngithi ngifana ngishuthe self tape la manje. So uzokwenza lento translated uzofunda. Okay, even when I'm going to set, you understand, uzongiranisa lama lines. Bazongiranisa because support yabo is huge. Even my friend, even ingane zakhe. Ngiyangithi, hey, but wozobamba camera la wena, wozongishoot, ngiyaqala, wozongifundela makhela ebo, guys, it's a lot because sometimes I can't get to Sipho. Sipho is busy. So akakwazi mangacela uSipho obviously. Leyo self tape uzongifundela kamnandi because I remember recently bengisiza Nompilo Maphumulo, she was on Uzalo. So she was doing self tape ethize. So what uzongifayela nje imali yokugibela, wathi imali yok request, ngicela uzongisiza because sidinga ama actors ukuze ubone ukuthi lento yenzayo ithi nayo iphakame, you know. And khona ucebile Mlaba bengina KZN uhlala KZN besifuna duty sonke. So now she was doing a self tape for Gomora. The first time lokho ngimenzisa and she got it. Makayithola ezangapha athi hayi ngitholile kokho ngiyabonga yabo kwenziswe yimina wa director yimina ukuthi enza kanje wenza kanje, you know.
So I mean wamsiza ukuthi athole Gomora.
Yes ngamsiza ukuthi athole Gomora. So now nami ngase ngithola i-request ke from my agent ukuthi Gomora has requested me ukuthi
bungakabi ku Gomora at the time.
Bungakabi ku Gomora at the time.
Wow.
So sekufanele manje audition mina. Yo, I had to go to Emlazi engaze ngangiyokwenzani mhlawumbe kuyiphathi engane. So kuphithizela I asked umngane ka cousin wami ukuthi azongifundela. And luckily usisamunes, so ngaboleka uniform yakhe, ngigqoke uniform yakhe. But again, luckily I got it.
Look at you. Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
I mean, before we move away from Gomora, because it is a big character that you're playing, and it came in for a short season, but it seems like it's been there, like it stayed, and people have fallen in love with the relationship between Ustompi, no Ness. And you were speaking about how important it is to build that relationship and that friendship outside of set. Now we are reaching a point where it's almost the end of the journey for the show, you know.
Yeah.
How are you preparing yourself? Because me as an actor and as a person, I struggle with goodbyes. I always loathe the day that we're going to say goodbye and set, you know, because chances are sometimes some people you never really connect with again. Others you do maintain. I mean, we've maintained the connection after the productions, but sometimes you lose out on that. So with you and Stompy, I mean, Nestle and Stompy's characters, how is the chapter ending? Like, how are you preparing for that final day of set?
And repart. I think with me saying right about it, and I'm okay with it. It's okay. It's ending, and it's not because we didn't do great.
Yeah.
It's the end of the show. It's time. And we move on, and we find other things. And in relationship, obviously, it's gonna be still there. We as now we keep relationships. We keep abantu esibathandayo close to us. Hence, I'm here today with you.
True.
You know, so I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
So speaking about you know, the endings and beginnings, before we move over to the last work that you've done, for me, I want to go back to the theater space.
Okay.
Because we met working on a show called A Shortcut to a Short Life, which was a Naledi nominated play.
Listen.
Yes, and it's also beautiful to see that all of us in that, most of us that were part of that project, we've maintained the friendships, and everyone has really gone out to do what they do. But what becomes major differences between screen and stage? Because I know lately there are a lot of schools that are training purely just for screen, you know, and I know that your background with DUT is a theater background into screen. So what are some of the big differences between the two mediums?
Okay. One, with TV nje, we are so relaxed in Alendlelo, even if you messed up, it's okay. There is a cut and a pickup, and it's all good. If I pumangi ngembezi when you have to cry, it's all good. We'll redo it. We'll start again. Whereas at theater, there's no going back. You must make sure if you missed a page, maybe you must make sure how uzobuyele move and redo.
Yeah.
Because you have to improvise in some sort. Kanti ngapha ay shame.
Yeah.
Technicalities nje wakhona, you have to stay here. Awukwazi ushonele uzoba off camera. Yabo. Kanti ngala you can do whatever you as a stage, and the performance yakho, it's always ikunikeza that thing ukuthi yazi ngiyaperforma la. Kanti TV
Let's talk about that, because TV is a box, you know? And there are marks. And I know that the first thing that I was nervous about when I was going to shoot my first TV work was hitting the mark. Because people kept on saying, hit the mark, hit the mark. Hit the mark. And I was just like, you know, I was so nervous. Lucky enough, it was a project that I worked with Pumulo on that one, you know, and we were also, we're starting out together. He was not yet the guy that he is, who has done Ashes and all of that. Besakala sase ilenda shem so true. Silama, you know, it's funny because also that I've never, even in that season, Mangi Pegala project, I felt like a big guy.
You felt like a big guy?
Yes, because I grew up a big kid, so I've always been big. And then Masangi Pehangisi, Kati Bang Slender. But anyway, so we were able, because we were new together, and we would be able to speak and say, okay, yenza so, say it by Sane, and there was a comfort zone to that. But you are touching on the fact of which on screen, there's hit a mark, there's this, there's that. Let's walk a person who's never been on set before. What are those things, the limitations of the space? Because also it's not just a limitation of movement, but sometimes it's also a limitation of your performance, right?
When you get on set, being told nje ukuthi ungasuki la. Hey, it's a struggle.
Hlala
la, ungasuki. Don't turn this way because camera it's a struggle. It was a struggle for me. But ngoba ne TV, I did TV kancane eVarsity.
Yes.
So I was able to be myself and and relax more and understand what's okay. There's a camera there and the camera ingibhekile. So whatever I do, nase theater, ungazimask because mangibheka ngapha this camera ngeke izingibone, so kumele ngichithe ngithi so we understand. So mawungazi ngempela uyongena ushaya camera, so kumele wenze sure ukuthi lento ekuthiwa yenze makubekwa imark la ubona ukuthi okay ibeka kule ama tiles lawo wesibili lapha at the edge, wenze sure ukuthi ungena uma lapho. You understand? Mina nje ngenza njalo so that angibi off camera yonke leyo nto. I stick to a direction.
Asikhulume of being off camera, because a lot of people don't know this, and you've done a lot of commercials and acting. I mean, part of your acting journey, because acting in South Africa is broader than just, purely because we don't have the luxury of doing one gig that pays you enough to not work for the next 3 years. We are bambi. So the beauty of that is that it allows you to do many other things. And you are queen of commercials. Girl, you are wabuka ama advert. Hayibo!
Kade ngagcina.
Maru yawabuka kodwa. And aloka yabuya manje so nje ilokithi iyangena indaba. Asikhulume ngama advert, because uqeda ukukhuluma ngokublog. Ngiyazi ukuthi ku advert there is there's appearance. I mean, you get paid for having the
Be
call.
there.
The call.
Yeah.
But then there's an important one.
Hey, you say. Ukuthi vele how many seconds?
Asikhulume ngaleyo ndaba leyo, because abantu abazi and uyazi ulapha ku advert ubhizi ubheka umngane wakhe, unaka umngane wakhe maqeda iyapheli ad amangale ukuthi how bethe izobhadala call maybe 3,000 per call, but then usage was 25,000 and sakamangala ayisangeni u35 ingena nje
ulo 3,000
iphile yenzwa yini?
Okay, mau we add. Now you must make sure, man. You must make sure ukuthi ngiyabonakala. Uyabo ungathi uku-add nama kuthiwa enza kanje. Pheka le ncwadi hlala kule ncwadi. Ikhamera vele ngeke izibe kuwena. Awungahlalisi ke nayo le ncwadi, pheka phela ngapha. Ubheka umngane, because if you don't do that, if you make up valley for 3 seconds, because i-add into encane kangaka, few seconds, gone done. Yabo. So wena mawuzoluka kuthiwa bheka la hayibo buyisa ubuso ubonakala.
As long as you are in an ad and you have to tell people ukuthi wena umuphi lapha ya imali yakho
iyangena. Oh mawuzoluka
usicela ukuthi yimlo
bhekele cha sifuna ubhekele sifuna uthi sikubone ukuthi asingaze sikutshele usitshele wena ukuthi yimina lo ngangithinta leya lo kuza ne brown.
Actor, if people don't tell you that we saw you, you must know there's a bag that's not coming.
Are we telling you sage? I shame never sage.
What do you wish you knew earlier when you were coming into the acting space? Or what do you wish you knew sooner than now? And how do you think it would have made you move differently in the game?
I wish I knew ukuthi akusikhona lokho esicabanga ukuthi ikhona.
Okay.
cause thina masiya kwi-acting mina ke nje ngangithi nje Nkosi yami ngiyasebenza, I will have money, you know, I had that thing. But inhle lento ibukeka inhle, uya-acta kumnandi, bonke abantu banemali,
zoba
steering ngibe mangifika la akusikhona lokho.
Uyavela TV.
You work hard. You work hard ukuthi ufike la ufika khona, because you go to auditions ayinqwaba and ungatholi ngisho yi-1 uthole abantu abanama followers abanjani wena ungatholi lutho. Kuyasetshenzwa la
and ama audition ngesinye isikhathi ama audition awekho endaweni itekisi endlula ku.
Mfethu,
It's either you have to walk long distance or ufike request phambili bese uhamba audition
ngaphela imali ayikho.
into engishoyo, so uyawalka lapha ya uma ufika lapha sujulukile ukhathele but kumele ubambe lines
uzo audition.
and kumele ukhumbule yonke into oyifundile.
2014 there was a show that I was doing, sasi travela ama countries si like ukuya ema clinics. Sasama actors siyema clinics ukuthi usho ukuthi uphethwe yini kwakuyi research nje of some sort yama STIs, so ufanele eclinic nani. So when I went and did an audition for that, bra ngehlala kanti kwakufanele ngehlele. I had to walk, I got lost ngafika lapha sengikhathele ngijuluke ngimanzi, but guess what, I got it.
That's beautiful.
We understand.
That's beautiful.
Kodwa nje it's a lot and it's not what we think it is.
It's not as glamorous as it looks.
Yes, I wished ezongenza ngikwazi ukumaneuver ngiye la ngifuna khona ngama auditions and but ke ngoba ke uyasazi ke thina ama artists mase sinento ukuthi mina ngifuna ukuacta, mina I want to do this for the rest of my life. You find yourself uma ucabanga ukwenza umsebenzi uthi we mina ngiyelapha ngofike ngibangela umsindo izingane, ngofike ngibanga umsindo lapha ngixoshwe. We understand. So nje if I knew ukuthi kunzima kangaka kule industry ngabe ngaqale ngasebenza.
Kade sinoko sikhuluma ngako lobuzima lobu, yini kahle lento le enzima kahle ku industry? Umsebenzi
kunzima ukuthola umsebenzi.
Okay, and then mase utholile wona umsebenzi.
Mase utholile kayi kulula.
Okay,
but kunzima ukuthola umsebenzi Sipho sethu ngoba sometimes uqashwa ngoba waziwa. Uqashwa ngoba unama followers amangakhi. Ungaqashwa njenge talent, uqashwa ngoba wenza into ethize ukuze noma ngeke talent. Kunama couch castings enzakalayo nje. Ukuthi nje ngoba ugeli hourglass thina kanje siyibutubutu nje samasakazana nje esama dinosaurs.
But also I think you speak about appearance because you are on screen, you've played a young character, very young. You've played a nice hip girl, like in the fashion space. You've played a church person. You've played mothers. We are yet to see you play a love interest. Overlang lingerie. Are you looking forward to that? What do you think though has taken you this long to get to that? Because you're a beautiful woman.
There are things that mina personally.
Sabi lingerie, a TV.
A TV.
Oh, are we sabi emhlabeni?
Hayi emhlabeni anginankinga.
Masingabuka ngekamera ingekho on.
Ngeke phela.
Okay.
Phela nanokuthi phela ngumntwana kaNkulunkulu.
All right.
Kunezinto.
Yeah.
Even short things.
Yeah.
I don't like short things. I don't wear short things. So necessitating mangifika wardrobe, guys, please don't buy me short things. I don't like short things. Because ngiyazazi ukuthi mina ngimi kanjani and yini engiyifunayo. You understand? And then abanye abantu bazo yabona nje mina ngiyidinosaur nje. Sengibusy nama
lingerie. Osho nje bengeke sikubone lapha kushaka. Nje ulokuthi unandi. Udlala nje ibele nje lapha
nanga ngoba phela vele imali lapha ayikhona.
Hayi
because uyazi ukuthi sponsor yethu thina as Zulus, we have that thing yokuthi mawungabona intombazane
Yeah.
ingaqokile ifake ivunulile
Yeah.
akusho lutho
Yeah.
akusho lutho nje ubona ukuthi nje hayi
Yeah.
awuntombi yakho ngisho ngasina ibhekele ayikho into
Love that.
ayikho into ethi ngisho abantu besilisa ayikho into kodwa mawungabona intombazane efake into encane kanje eclubini abantu besilisa bana that thing ukuthi
Yeah. I like what you're bringing to the table, because that was a conversation with Ushaka Zulu right now, where for the longest of time there's been conversations about how Abu Babe takes a rank, treat young women who are wearing a certain way. But then here comes Ushaka Zulu and sibona mabele, sibona izitho, sibonani, and then people are like, yeah, but it's culture. Why nisithethisa masise renkeni mara ningathet? And I like the fact that you say no, ngoba masise sibona in a cultural context.
It's okay.
It matters. Yeah, it changes.
It changes yonke lento le abantu besisa abayicabangayo ngabantu besifazane mawubabona nje begqoke traditionally nje bebahle ngisho ngathiwa uvela iphenti noma uvela izinqa into ayigqokile ubuhlali bungaka
Yeah, changes.
It's okay.
Everything.
It changes everything.
Okay. All right. How important are other skills? Because you do hair, that's why you got into the hair space. You do makeup, that's how you got into the makeup space. How would we, you find some actors who are working hard to become actors, but it takes a long time to finally get to that space. What would you advise actors to do in the meantime going to where they are going in terms of other skills that they can develop?
Find your talent. Yabanje mawumuntu othanda ukukhuluma, othanda abantu, get into marketing. Get into a business. Do something ngoba ukuhlala ngeke kukunikeza imali. You understand? Mawuhleli nje uthi ulindile uku-actor uzoba senkingeni.
But how do you then, in the midst of, so I'm waiting to become an actor and I'm doing other things to get to the journey of becoming an actor.
Like
how do I protect myself without ukuthi ngagcini ngilahlekele ngingenelele ku-clientele sengithengisa amapolisi wabantu wokushona to a point where iphupho lami nalo yancwaba angisa-polish angisa-invest kubu-act.
Phela yabona imphupho mawunalo awukwazi ukulungcwaba. Mawunalo nje.
But ibalance ngiyithola njani, ngiyenza njani?
You make sure ukuthi italent onalo awulahleli ngale just because angithi lokhu kwenza because you need money.
Yes.
So italent elikhona. Make sure ukuthi awulose talent and find yourself kuma spaces where there are artists eduze kwakho. Uyakwazi ukuthi uhambe ubuka ama shows and get to interact with people. Yabo mawuhlangana nabantu nje aba-actayo mine nawo uzivuselelekile ukuma hey no ngizoyenza lento one day ngizofika and uthola ukuthi usiphosethe usenento ethize uzokwazi ukuthi yazini wembali awuzelani kunento ethize engenzayo. You understand? And then
what still excites you about the industry? I mean, once when we're starting this journey, saqeda ugreda, kumnandi ukuya ku-audition, kumnandi ukubona abobanibani esethi, kube mnandi nje ukuthi usendaweni. What still excites you today about the game and the space of telling stories?
It's doing my work. And doing it perfectly. Ilonto engichazayo like getting to a script ngivele ngibona yazini nkosami ngiphelele uma nginawe ay yabona nje mangithola iscript kuthiwa ngiqala iscript esisho ngiqala ijourney entsha I'm like yo like unginikeza that thing ukuthi you are doing great.
You're doing great.
Qhubeka, you are doing great. So ilonto engijabulisayo mina.
Who do you still want to work with? Who do you still want to work with in the industry?
Cindy Dlatu. And umama Osam wayidlala uMakabuli.
Vathiswandaga, yes.
Yes, yabona Nkosi Jesu. Yabona manje ukuthi angimboni. But I think she's doing something, writing and everything. But nje talent lwa mama is exceptional.
You spoke in your introduction about your many talents, your personality, and you also touched on your faith. What role has your faith played? Because you find some people finding ukuthi their spirituality hinders them from doing certain things. It blocks them from exploring fully the game and the space. What has your spirituality and your journey and your belief done for you in the space?
Mina ayazi ngiblock faith yami and spirituality yami ayikaze singiblock in what I want to do. And the support that I get from mhlawumbe mama umfundisi or baba umfundisi, because there was a time where I thought I was going to have Script City engizoba ne kissing scene with Ustombi. I was like, yo mama umfundisi mina ngivirgin. She's like, but it's your work, you know. She was like, but it's your work. How? I'm like, oh, okay. No, so mina nkosami yo cha with my spirituality nje, and nanokuthi ke ngilo muntu enguyena, and I don't take izinto serious. Uyabo mina nje I go with the flow. uNkulunkulu mangibeka la, you know why ungibekela. So I'm going to do this and siqhubeke la ngibeka khona hamba nawo. La ngibeka khona ngihamba nawo.
Characters have come and characters have gone. Which character has traveled with you or is still in you today from the work that you've done over the years?
I think character kaMbali.
Yeah.
Character kaMbali, not because the same name, but yabona that character, because ngibuka the way
Mbali
she
was
was.
Imbewu, right?
Yes, it was Imbewu. So ngibuka what she was when she was starting, because kwakunkosi yami usisi nje osesontweni oshadile, onomoya nje na nkosi yami wakhula, you know.
Wadivosa
wafuna abafundisi yabo
wakhosa ubritivity. Yeah.
Even today bengisabuza leyo nto uthi wafuna umfundisi phela yabo. So leyo it has stuck with me, and also uGesh wherever I'm going, I'm like, yo, I'm not sure about Nestle because it's still something. Yes. But nje uGesh, uMbali, abo mama, for this. Like, nkosi yami, and ngoba uMbali. So mabantu mabembuza how sabona Mbali. It's okay for me because uMbali
true.
No Neslidia, kuNeslidia. Ngiyazi ukuthi basho kumina because
manje what is next for you as we wrap up?
Okay. Since ke phela iGomora nkosi yami I rest in peace.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. You know, iGomora nje it's a wrap this month. uNkulunkulu emuhle. I'll be going to Smoke and Mirrors.
Come on now.
You see now.
Labels.
Baby. Labels. And uyazi sipose ukuthi we've always wanted ama global nathi. So now when I got Smoke and Mirrors, I'm like, my goodness.
Finally, after all these years.
After all these years. Mina ngiqeda esikoleni sipose ngo 2009.
And it's been knocking after knocking. Yes after no, no after no. And finally we get
we're getting there, you know. We're getting izinto ebesifisa kudala. We understand. So I'm happy about the journey I'm about to take right now. I'm really happy.
Before we wrap up, what character haven't you played that you still want to play?
A villain. Angazi ngaba ivillain enjani enhle kanje. I've never been a villain. I've never been
already.
Can I be that?
You can. Yes, and I think it's time.
But I think nane personality yami izovela ingakuvumeli lokho mhlambe, I don't know. But I've always wanted to play a villain nje. Yabona bani konje because I'm khona lo sisilo wayedlala uthokozile kwimbewu. Like someone like that. Ubona ukuthi nje lo usathane nje umbhekile. You know. So
I mean, directors are watching this show. you know,
Directors,
and
directors.
they might be calling you,
You know,
and say, you know what,
let's, you know,
sifuna ivele and it could be your
entsha,
journey,
you know.
your new journey. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. You know, part of this journey with the show, what we want to do as Touch TV and as It's a Wrap, we want to celebrate talent.
Thank you so much.
We want people who read of your work and enjoy you also get to hear you in your own words speak about your journey, you know. So thank you for taking your time and being here.
And thank you for inviting me. It was lovely ukuba nawe Sipho sethu sihlangu.
It's a pleasure.